the left in America today does not believe that women can do the same things as men at the same quality or better. They simply don't believe that. They continue to give awards to men who now think they're women. They want to replace women in everything with men who think they're women. They want to replace men into women's sports against women. And guess what? When the men who think they're women compete against the women, they do better. You had that silly soccer player, what's her name, with the fake hair color, complaining yet again. The woman is just a bag of grievances. And she whines incessantly about her lack of pay. This is a woman, for those of you who do not recall, whose soccer team played a group of 15-year-old boys in Texas, and the 15-year-old boys in Texas beat her. That's the reality. You may not like it. You may wish that someone didn't point it out. But the reality is that the boys, yes, Megan Rapinoe, thank you. Here she is.
I'm a member of the LGBTQ community with pink hair. And where I come from, I could have only dreamed that I would be standing in the position I am today at the White House. I'm also a professional athlete, and I've helped, along with all of my teammates virtually here today, one teammate literally here today, win 4 World Cup championships and 4 Olympic gold medals for the United States. And despite those wins, I've been devalued, I've been disrespected, and dismissed because I am a woman. And I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I am a woman. You see, despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do.
No, they don't.
For each trophy, of which there are many, and for each win, for each tie, and for each time that we play, it's less. And I know there are millions of people who are marginalized by gender in the world and experience the same thing in their jobs.
Oh, let's be real honest here. It's not the same job. She's based on ad sales and revenue that she generates, and if anything, she's overpaid. A.G. Hamilton on Twitter has had a great thread about this. The women's teams are actually paid more relative to the men's team based on the revenue each side generates. The topic of the U.S. Soccer Federation pay is more complicated, but people are getting a lot of things wrong. There's actually a slight pay disparity based on collective bargaining agreements, but it's not as significant as people, including her, pretended to be. The revenue for U.S. soccer, the media keeps citing that women produce slightly more game revenue over a 2-year period because they played more games, but revenue only makes up 50% of the revenue, 25% of sponsorships, and those are bundled. The press keeps citing pay from an old agreement, but the new agreement cuts the cap. Under the current agreement, female players are guaranteed a base pay of $100,000 a year plus bonuses. Men don't get the guarantee, but have higher potential bonuses based on performance. In other words, if both teams played and lost 20 friendly matches, they would be paid the same. If both teams win all 20 games, the women get paid 89% of what the men would get. In other words, the women's team agreement essentially trades a guaranteed salary for less potential performance-based earning. That's something that even similarly situated employees do all the time. It's part of the negotiating process. The teams also don't play in the same league or have the same competition. Men's soccer leagues, even in the U.S., they're more popular. Game attendance is higher. Tickets cost more. But, I mean, let's not let facts get in the way of victimhood here. Oh, she's a poor professional victim. The woman got beat by 15-year-old middle schoolers in Texas. And yet she somehow thinks that she's in the same league. Let's see. When you believe the mythology, we have to believe this mythology that women are paid significantly less than men. Never mind that a lot of women take off to have children. They have different priorities. A lot of them are more willing to work part-time. They're not as invested necessarily in their career as men. We got to believe the mythology. This is no different than the QAnon mythology but the media insists we believe it. And they use this woman with a chip on her shoulder so big you can see it to claim that she is devalued and disrespected as a woman. No, her collective bargaining agreement guarantees her pay. The men's agreement does not guarantee them that level of pay, but the men get bigger bonuses if they win, and they win. And by the way, women's soccer and men's soccer are not in the same league. If they were in the same league, play them together and see who wins.